Hi, Ellie.
Hi, my love. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
So the first thing that I'm going to have you do is start by looking at the camera and saying your name and your pronouns.
My name is Eliana, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, my name is Kolby. My pronouns are he, him.
My name is Janine and Uyanga, and my pronouns are they, them.
Hi, my name is Jewel, and my pronouns are she, her.
My name is Tabari, and my pronouns are he, they.
My name is Courage. Pronouns are she and her.
Natural, just natural. How would you define tenderness, and what does it make you think of?
Tenderness feels like empathy. It feels soft, kind, understanding, loving.
Softness and gentleness, kindness and caring behavior.
It makes me think of, well, my spouse, first of all, which is you. Warm, gentle cuddles with you. When I hear the word tenderness, that's what I think about for sure.
When I think of tenderness, I think of my partner and how she's just been tender with me for after all these years still. She's very still with me. She doesn't rush me. It almost feels like a field of flowers. That's what I think about when it comes to the word tenderness.
How have you seen tenderness reflected in your family and in your childhood?
Within my family, I saw it in my grandparents, for sure. And with my dad's mom, she was the first person I understood that you don't need to speak the same language to feel loved by somebody. I didn't learn how to speak Spanish until I was older, so her and I were not able to communicate when I was younger, but she showed me so much tenderness and grace and kindness and protected me and loved me more than anybody who spoke my tongue.
I've always kind of been the odd one out. I'm pretty weird, and it took a while for me to love that about myself as well. But my family, they always let me be weird. And there was teasing here and there, but it was almost low-key celebrated that I was weird and different.
So I'm really lucky to have loving parents that stayed together. I have 3 siblings, and we're all really close in age. Losing our dad was kind of a big shift in our lives, and I think my dad was the most gentle, loving man I've ever met, and he actually taught me a lot about empathy and being giving. And I mean, if tenderness feels like love, that's literally what I see love looking like.
How do you cultivate tenderness in your life?
I cultivate tenderness by being my absolute, real self in every situation that I'm in, whether it be, with my mom or with my friends. And, I try to be, the most authentic version of myself.
By being patient, for sure. I've had to learn to be patient with myself and with things around me. Because I feel like when you're always in the move, you're always in a rush, you're missing out on a lot of things. So I feel like when I make myself patient, when I make myself still, I'm providing that tenderness to me of still providing some sort of guidance to myself.
Is there a fond memory of tenderness that you would like to share with us?
My mother called me 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, I don't know, it wasn't that long ago, after coming out, and we talked, and she shared how she felt when I came out, and I don't know, it's her just telling me how much she loved me, reminding me of that was important.
The first time I came out to my dad about my my gender. He already knew that I had like a girlfriend and stuff, but like really talking to him about me being non-binary. And when I told him that I wanted top surgery, it was really hard because I was already being kind of dismissed by my mom for my my desires to go through with this, and he completely understood. It was just the exact amount of like love and care that I needed, especially when like talking about something as big as actually like medically transitioning. So that's like my biggest form of tenderness that I've experienced and my fondest.
Do you see a connection between queerness and tenderness?
Absolutely, yes. Like, queerness is tenderness. You know, community is tenderness. You know, from friends to chosen families to, you know, going out even to a party when the girls and the femmes go to the bathroom, like that is tenderness.
I think to be queer is to be tender. I think you have to be a little bit. We walk about with targets on our back, and we will have that target on our back until the day we are put in the ground. Like, we're never gonna have a moment of peace from the world. But within our own communities, like, we are so tender and so loving and so kind. Like, if we're not tender for each other, no one else is gonna do it for us.
How do your intersectionalities affect the way that you navigate the world?
First and foremost, I'm a black man, you know, and I think like that has like its things, you know, when navigating this world, you know, and then adding the extra layer of being a queer man, I think that can be very challenging. But also I think there's a lot of beauty in that. I realized since like I've expressed my sexuality, I feel like I've triggered a lot of like straight cis men a lot of times because I'm more in touch with like myself in a way, since, you know, understanding my queerness.
I was actually diagnosed bipolar and a few years ago, and like that is something that like I didn't understand at the time, and I felt like it was like my weakness, but I've kind of like seen it as more of a strength now, because it's, again, like I said, the human experience, and feeling all of those feelings has only helped me and shaped me to be a better person. And knowing that I hold so many emotions, I can empathize with other people.
Did you ever have a hard time liking or loving any parts of yourself?
Yes. Absolutely. I still do. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. It was very strict. There's a lot of stuff I couldn't do. I couldn't, you know, whatever. But one of the biggest things was homosexuality. And so it was definitely drilled into my head that that was not okay. But I don't hate those things about myself, obviously, now.
I struggled a lot with my body image growing up and having an eating disorder, and that was really challenging for me. And I have a lot of insecurity around not having like a more quote-unquote like feminine body. And so that is something like I still struggle with. So that is something that like I haven't always liked about myself.
What are tools that you have gained that have just like helped you?
I think in terms of my body image, like I think just being able to appreciate how far I've come, and every time I go through like a difficult circumstance or like a difficult situation, I'm always like, damn, my body got me through that.
What is one thing that you would like to tell your inner child?
We made it. Yeah, we made it, friend. I was gonna say a bad word. We made it. Wow. And you're weird, and that's cool. And you're gonna want to stop being weird, and you will for a while, but not really. And don't stop.
Just to like don't give up on like what you want to accomplish, you know, in life, and you're doing great, and yeah, just continue to show up for yourself and show up for like your mental health and things like that.
She's already everything she needs to be. Sorry.
She is. And tears are okay.
Yeah. When I was younger, I just tried to always fit the frame that people will want from me in order for them to like me, in order for them to respect me. And of course, it didn't work because people suck sometimes. I would tell her to keep being loud, keep taking space, keep being weird. Someone is going to love the fuck out of you when you get older. Yeah, she doesn't need to change.
How do you bring queer joy into your life?
Yeah, but I hang out with my queer besties. I have the most romantic relationships with them. Like, we can physically touch each other and like love on each other and hug each other, and that's so healing for me. Physical touch is one of my love languages, but I grew up not really being like physical with my family. And so to be able to be physical with friendships, that's tenderness, right? Like, that's so loving, that's so soft. Like, yeah.
I think my friends are like the epitome of queer joy. There's not one moment that goes by that I'm like, damn, this is everything I wanted for myself when I was younger. Like, with such a large community of people from all over the world who speak all different languages, who identify with so many sexualities and genders, like, this was everything and more that I could have wanted. And like, that brings me so much joy.
It's great to have community. It's great to have a great environment, but it's also nice to just be great to yourself. I've been dwelling on like, what do I need to be in order to feel this success that I want so much? And sometimes you really just have to look in the mirror. Even if you don't want to, you have to let yourself know that you are enough.
I think queer joy is being happy and queer, and I am those things. And there's plenty of people out there that don't want me to be happy. And I don't want queer people to be happy. So me just being happy and actively queer is how I do it.